Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Now, this week's video is the plumbing. Now I've got loads of plumbing bits. I've just been to Screwfix and picked up the actual shower in the shower. So yeah, lots to do, and I've got 2.5 days to do it because I've wasted half a day faffing about looking through parcels and trying to track everything down. And I've made these little copper zigzag things to go on the back of the burner out of some 10mm copper pipe, one for the underfloor heating and one for the hot water tank. I don't know how well this is going to work. I could have done with a few more coils, but I don't have a pipe bender and I was doing it by hand. So we'll just have to see how this does this winter, and if it doesn't work that well I'll have to upgrade it next summer, but that's fine, you know, trial and error. This might work fine and I might not need to add any more. So obviously adding more would make it heat quicker as well though. So now I need to turn off the water pump and take all the plumbing off the wall, off the battens more like, and then make a wall there. I've got some 9mm ply left over from the shower. If you didn't see last week's shower video, go hit the card up here or stick it up there. And just wanted to say one thing because I haven't really mentioned it for a while. I do have a little Patreon and there's a few people on there, and as I say, you don't have to go on there, but yeah, I really appreciate it if you do. It does help out, and but you just get early content, and occasionally I stick some photos on there of my current progress, and sometimes even a behind the scenes, or if I disappear off YouTube for a couple of weeks I'll keep Patreon updated. So it's up to you, and it's only £1, so you know, it's not that much, but you can't spend everyone £1. If you're already spending £1 on 2 people, that's like £2.50 a month when you add the Patreon taxes. So I'm only doing like 2 people, I know, so I know what it's like. But anyway, that's there, just thought I'd mention it. And yeah, but let's get cracking, taking this stuff off the wall and hoping one of my offcuts is quite big and takes a lot of space, so I've got a lot of wall space because I've got filters and, as I said, all the stuff I've got. So I've got all these bits from Screwfix. This is a 22mm shut-off valve, which is for the emptying the waste of the shower. This is the right angle to make it go from coming out of the tank to go through the floor. This is the tank connector, which connects it to the tank, which is under the shower at the moment. And then I've got a bit of 22mm pipe as well, but not here. So these two are for the hot water tank, so we'll leave them for a minute. So here I've made this tiny bit of pipe, and I'm going to get one of these T-pieces and stick it on. And these are a slightly different design, so hopefully they don't protrude more. No, it looks okay. Alright, and then that's that tiny thing, and then that is going to go, I'm not throwing everything everywhere, that's going to go in there, which is connecting to the pump. And then this is pretty cool. I need to get this. So you can buy proper cutters for this pipe, but I haven't got any. And if you do have a big pair of wire cutters that does like 75mm squared cable, then it works just fine to do this. Now you need to make sure. I recommend using these inserts that it comes with. Well, it doesn't come with, but you can buy in Screwfix. And then you have to make sure that they're the right length. You don't want to make it too short that they don't go in all the way. And then just cut that, and it does squash it a tiny bit, but nothing too bad. It's better than trying to saw it with a hacksaw, and you can just squash it back a bit, and then it's good as anything. And then you stick those in either end, and then we stick that in the accumulator, which I've never used before. My dad has one in his boat, but I've never had one in here. My mum bought this for her boat, but it already had one. So yeah, she gave it to me. So I'm gonna push this in there, lock that down. And lock that one down. I'm going to strap that to that somehow, maybe with big cable tie. Next we need another one of these, another little bit of pipe. Yeah, if I just cut that in half, that'll do 2 more of those little joiner pipe bits. So that can go like that, and then we'll just square off the ends again. A bit of squashiness. Okay. And then the inserts. So, and then stick that in there again, and just repeat the same old things. And then that one goes in that one, and then you do that one up, and then this one goes into there, and then you do that one up. And then we've got accumulator, which will hold some water, so if you just use a tiny bit of water, it won't make the pump go ba-dum. And if you use the water slowly, it won't make it go because they don't know what to do. Okay, so I'm just been looking at diagrams. So we want a cold water in at the bottom, and then because the water tank's going to be here, I'll probably have a hot water in from the burner, and then the cooler water going out to the burner. So about like that distance. One there, and then one literally next to where the water inlet comes in, which is one of these fittings in there, and the water will go in. And I always drill the hole too big, so I need to get, I think I don't have the right hole saw, so I just need to drill it too small and file it out annoyingly, because otherwise I've had leaking issues on my other 2 tanks that I just had to sort out just now. I just realised it's only a very, very small leak, so I didn't really realise, but yeah, it's definitely a leak. Okay, all I'm going to do, and I'm not going to film it because you've seen how I'm doing it, is put a length of pipe in there to accommodate in future the T-piece for the filters, and then I'm going to have an elbow coming down, and then another elbow at the bottom going down, and then just before going into there. Oh, and in between that, the tap, so it's going to look like that basically, and probably all again tiny little bits of pipe, so you don't really use much pipe. So that and that. But yeah, it's coming together as you can see. There's quite a lot of plumbing there now, and a lot more to go. So let's hope. What I want to get done today is all the cold water side. Someone didn't press record just then. Anyway, just drilled all the holes. Hopefully things fit. I know the in and out are too small, because I did that deliberately. As I said, it needs filing out, but I'm hoping this is the right size. Oh, snug. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but in there, yeah, there you are. Over here, there we are. So they're kind of as far away from each other. The reason they're not on opposite sides is because this is the corner you'll see, as you can see like that, and I want them to be accessible. I don't want them to be on these 2 sides where they're being the wall. So yeah, and then as I did say, I was going to put the hot water out up here, but then I soon realised that this is not a pressurised tank, and as you're draining the hot water, you are draining it. So I obviously need the hot water outlet to be at the bottom. So then we'll have cold water in, immersion heater electric, hot water then, and then hot water out to the shower, and we'll be able to have a shower hopefully by Sunday night. It's currently Friday evening. I'm going to file these holes out, get these pipe connectors fitted, and then do the same for the waste tank and get that all sorted, so all the holes in the tanks are drilled. Breather and waste for that. And yeah, I'm just going to crack on doing a few more bits. Obviously you know what drilling a hole is, even though I failed to film that. But yeah, I'm just going to crack on, and I'll catch you guys once I've done a bit more work and I can update you. Okay, so hello everyone. You missed me, you lost me for a day, but that's because my SD card filled up and I completely just couldn't be asked to change it. But yeah, here is the shower all in. I had a shower last night, it was nice and warm. I just had it on hot setting, just using the one hot tank. And then here it is down here. I've done a bit this morning as well on top. But all I did was just I boiled water in the kettle on the hob and just poured it straight in there. So if you have a look at it like this, what's happening is we have water coming up from both tanks. They're teed down there. It goes across and into that side of the pump,
which has a filter before it, then goes through this accumulator, which then tees off and goes to the cold of the shower and the cold of the cold tap up there in the sink. It then carries on, goes down via this tap into the hot water tank at the bottom, and that way you can just fill the tank using that, or half fill it. This is designed to be used half full as well, which I like about it. And then coming out of there, you got this, and it goes across there, up there, and into this pump, which pumps the water out of there. But for now, it doesn't go to the tap because I need to work out the connection. That was already had the correct connection. And then it just goes across onto the hot tap of the shower, which, as you can see, they're just there. I had to buy a bit of copper pipe and just plopped it in there. I am going to have a filtering system that should be turning up today. That's going to be a T just there, and it's going to go up, across, and it's going to be on the wall here, and the faucet is going to be on the right hand side of the sink because the tap is in the middle, so it's going to be just over there. Ta-da! I did it. I welded bolts on, as you can see, just 4 of them. I used these galvanised metal P-clips, so they're not plastic and metal or painted or anything, and they're nice, just galvanised metal. And then the 10mm copper pipe comes into, this is actually the output of the tank, and it will just cycle it round, and then it should warm it up over a couple of hours when you've got the burner on. So if you like the burner in the morning, you're in all day, and then come the evening you want to shower, good as gold. Or you leave the burner on overnight. I'm going to put some Celotex around this, so you could leave the burner on overnight, and it might go out or almost be out in the morning, but this would still be warm enough to then have a shower in the morning if you wanted. So I think it's going to be a good plan, providing that few runs of copper is enough. If not, I'm going to do it properly with a bender. I should have just done it anyway, but never mind. Well, after a long day, and I'll show you what I've done later, I'm going for a shower. Lovely! Over here we've got filters, and there's a 3/4 inch BSP fit in there that needs to be fitted to the T there, but I'm picking up the bit from Screwfix tomorrow, but then that will work. And there we've got a ceramic filter and then an activated carbon block filter, and then they come up and go to there, to the faucet. So that's all that covered. And now for the new stuff. Now we've got 2 6mm cables coming from my 24V fuse box over there, and they just go to some negatives, join up, and then the positive goes up to this relay here, which is a voltage relay, and this is reading 26.5 now, and when the battery's full it's about 27.5. So when it hits 27.5 the relay clicks on, so it's right, the battery's full, and then it flicks on this temperature relay, and if the water is cold, 37 degrees, well, you know, it's pretty warm because I've just had a shower, but if the temperature is cold and the water needs heating, then it will turn the immersion heaters on via this 40 amp relay down here, because they are only 10 amp relays internal. And then yeah, there's a 300W element there and a 300W element there, kind of as far apart as possible, so they kind of distribute the warmth evenly. And the idea with this is you could fill this to only halfway, because that's more than enough for one shower. I did that, and it would still perfectly function heating the water, no problem, including when I plumbed the burner in, because this is going to be the output of the water, and that's going to go there, and then the little pump is going to push it through the coil on the burner, and it's going to come back down this pipe, which will go about in the middle of the tank. So it is going in the middle. Let's not drop the panel. So if you've got any questions about this that you want to know, do drop them in the comments, because I will let you know what I think. But it's quite confusing the way I've got it, because I've got it 24V, but some things are 12V, so it's all a bit over the shop. For example, the 24V comes in, it goes up to here, because this is 24V, and then it powers this relay, but the actual relay outputs 12V to power this 12V relay, which then turns on the 24V line to turn on the immersion heaters. It's all a bit confusing, I know, so if you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Yeah, all of the burner one is going to be a switch. When the burner's on, you just flick it on. I could have a separate relay for that, but I'm just going to use a switch. And then that will turn on the relay, and then the relay will go, okay, is the water cold? If yes, like now, then it will turn on the pump and start circulating the colder water round the burner to heat it up, and if it's reached temperature, obviously it will turn off. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to bed. Good morning everyone, so it's a lovely morning this morning, as you can see from my little bit of footage. I've just been on a walk and I've got a load of blackberries. Sorry for the overexposure. It's actually a nice day for once this year. So yeah, I'm going to quickly rinse these in a colander, just to get all the shit off them. And then I'm going to make another tea and some breakfast, and then drill 2 holes in my hot water tank, hopefully before the batteries are full, because the relay system is working and the tank needs to be empty to drill the holes. So hopefully I can get it all done, plumb back in, fill the tank up, and then the batteries are full, and then I'll get my first test for free hot water. So excited for that. So that's them all rinsed in there. Now I'm going to pop them in the freezer. Okay, so I'm post-recording this because the camera audio is so bad. Basically, what I'm saying is the batteries are almost at 100% and the voltage is 27.3, as you can see. And I've got the holes drilled in the tank for the burner system, so that is all sealed and working. And then I've also filled the tank right to the top, as you can see. And I've done a bit of cable management here, as you can see as well. So now it's just a waiting game to see when the relay turns on. Well, it's at 27.4, but I think it has to go over 27.4 for 10 seconds. Oh, 27.5, 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, it happened before. Never mind. There it is. It works. And now it is using 27 watts, which is 0.9 amps. But there you are. It's now heating the water. Oh, shit. Let's put the timer on. We'll add like 10 seconds onto that because I lost that. But yeah, let's just wait now. We're now using power from the battery. We're using 300 watts. Now the sun's come out again. We're using... yeah, we're still using 27 watts. That's a lot of water to heat. We'll see how long it takes. I can't remember how long Alex's took to get to 45 as well. So what's the voltage reading here? So this turns off at 25.3. Which, as you can see, is absolutely fine right now. However, if I boiled a cup of tea, which I do want to do, it'd be interesting to see what happens if it times out and the voltage drops. You can see the clouds come on, and we've already lost 0.1 of a volt there. And it feels like the sun's coming back now. No, it's not. It's dropped another. Apologies, you can't see the time anymore. There it is. And the voltage is 25.5 on the... remember, this isn't the actual voltage, this is the voltage drop through the 6mm cable. I mean, 6mm cable is suitable up to 70 amp and we're pulling, pushing on 30, 25, 26 amps. So it's fine, but it's just what you get. It's over about 2.5, 3 meters. So it's not massively long, but yeah, it's pretty long. Okay, so I was just watching Alex's video and his took 2 hours to heat to 60 degrees. But as you can see, I've insulated it now. It's got sheep's wool behind here. I've cut it out around the elements. I need to make sure I tape it around the elements so it doesn't go near them, because they get hot on the outside. They don't get hot around the plastic, which is good. They're very cold around the plastic, I can hold my hand on it, but the cables coming out the back, I cannot touch them. They are hot, so they need like wrapping in some heat shrink and whatever heat proof things that will dampen it down. But yeah, we're almost there. And we've used another 1 amp hour since I've talked to you last. We're putting in 77 watts on top of the 650 odd we're drawing. So that's not bad, putting in 70 watts. And I've already put in 2 kilowatt hours into my solar has already harvested 2 kilowatt hours, and it's 11:13 in the morning on the 22nd of August. So, you know, getting towards shorter days, 22nd of August. But yeah, all good. Battery fully heated and full tank of hot water by midday.
So I say that's a result. And the solar's still putting in 70 watts. I haven't made my cup of tea yet because I didn't want to spoil this test. It hasn't turned off yet at all. The camera fell over and then the battery died, so sorry about the time lapse, it kind of got screwed. But let's see how long we're on now. We're on 40 minutes. Wow, can you believe that's been 40 minutes? You can't see that. There you are. 40 minutes. Yeah, I reckon maybe another 5 minutes, 45 minutes to heat the full thing, which makes sense because I've got double the amount of element that Alex had. He only had 300 and I'm only heating to 45 degrees. So it should take less than an hour, because if it took an hour then there'd be something wrong with my system. It's turned off. That's it. Stop the timer. Quick. Quick. Actually, I'll add another 10 seconds on. Now that's 43 minutes. That's 43 minutes. We'll call that 43 minutes on the dot. Ready, steady, go. There we are. And if you're wondering why I had that bit on, just remember it's because I forgot at the beginning. So as you can see now, the immersion's off. The voltage has risen because there's no voltage drop, and that is pretty much what it is. The Renogy shunt over there, which you can't see, is reading 26.7 and that's reading 26.8, so pretty damn close. But now we're putting in 600 watts back into the battery, and this is very warm and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to tie some string around this to keep it tight. I was going to tape it, but that seems a bit silly to me, so I think tape is going to be, string is going to be better. There it is, insulated, all good. And we've got 45 degree water in roughly 45 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty good. But that's only 20 degrees to 45 degrees. If it was like 15 degree water, it would take a bit longer obviously, or if you wanted to go a bit hotter. But 45 degrees is fine for me. Ignore that, that's just because I haven't turned the tap on all the way, because I want to save water. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's lovely. I could do with another accumulator for the hot water. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, loving it. There we are. Hot water. Okay, so I put the burner on this morning because it was a little bit chilly, although it's now absolutely boiling in here. Yeah, and it's still going an hour and a half later. It was just the paper was getting out of control. It was full. And yeah, it's still going now. Yeah, I think there's just some old wood in there as well, and bits and bobs, and it's just, yeah, it's going 100 degrees. But the copper coil is working. Probably needs some improvements, but it was 30 degrees this morning, and now it's 38 degrees an hour and a half later. So I'd like to get 10 degrees in an hour. But yeah, neatening up this, I'm going to go around with a hammer and tidy up so it's as close as it can be, because then it'll be more efficient. But it is working. It is working. And you know, if you had the burner on for 4 hours or something in the morning, it would heat the water up a bit, and you could use a bit for washing up and stuff. And the water would be cooler at like 10 degrees in the winter. But then if you drove, you might be able to fill the battery and it might kick in the immersions. But if not, then come the evening when you'd light the fire again after you've driven or done some stuff, you've got, like, I usually, when I was travelling around Wales, I'd get somewhere for dinner before it got dark, so like 4 o'clock as it was getting dark maybe. I turn up at a spot and then, you know, first thing you light the burner, and then that goes till I go to bed at like 9 o'clock or something in the winter. So that's like 5 hours, you know, which is going to be plenty to keep the water warm, which will have been hot from the, it would be maybe about 25 degrees from the morning, because it's pretty well insulated, it's doing really well. And then you flick that on and then it would only have to go another 20 degrees, which it would easily do in 4 hours or so, or well, less, hopefully 3 hours. It would do 20 degrees, which would be nice. But for now it's working slightly. As I say, it needs some improvements. If not, obviously doubling the amount of loops it's got in the copper by making the bends tighter will obviously improve a massive amount. So we'll just have to see how it goes and see if it needs it, or if it works and I can make do. It's all just going to be trial and error, but this system will work. It just depends if it needs a bit more efficiency making with a few more coils. Okay, so the immersion's just kicked in and we're at 279 amp hours.
it probably hit 280 to be fair. It took a bit longer because the voltage was a bit lower because it wasn't putting in as much power because there's a tree over this front panel now. So we're only getting 1 panel's worth, but we're only pulling 100 watts out of the battery, which isn't bad. And then here, it's only just come on, that was 28 degrees, so wow, that's heated a degree already. So yeah, we're at 30 degrees already, and another 15 to go, and then we'll have hot water again. And oh yeah, for the time, it is now 1 to 2. So that's flicked on just before 2, that has. So not bad, because it was a completely cloudy morning this morning. Good morning everyone. It is a couple of days later since I've last spoke to you. I think it's actually like getting on a week, because I've been at my dad's for ages. I'm leaving today though. So last time I spoke to you, I just finished all of this. I haven't touched it. I don't think. I've drilled a few holes for switches, but I haven't actually wired them up yet. Voltages, I haven't touched them since the day I put them. Still 27.4 and 25.3, and it turns on when it literally gets to 100%, as I was showing you in the last clip, and then it turns off. It will actually go through the night. It went all the way through the night once, but usually it will flick off at about 85 to 90%, because the voltage starts to get a bit low then. So with the 600 watts, the voltage drop goes down a bit. But other than that, it's working really well. Well, that is a really good thing. It's, you know, it's working perfectly. It's not draining my battery. I still wake up with like 35 degree water in the tank, 38 normally actually. So it only loses like 5 degrees overnight when it's not on, and it probably turns off. In fact, I usually hear it turn off when I'm in bed. You can hear the relay just go clunk. So yeah, I had a shower with it last night. I've had like a shower every other day in it just because I've got on tap water here. And I've been crawling under the van the last few days doing the anti-roll bar and stuff, and yeah, much needed showers were needed. So it's all working great. I'm pleased to report. You know, it's not the most simple system. It's based, as I say, largely off the bubble system. If you haven't got a burner, you can buy all this stuff from bubble vans. It's not sponsored or anything. I bought all this stuff off. I bought these off eBay, and I'll put all the links in the description. And I bought this off Bimble Solar, and this works on 12 and 24 volt. So it's really quite simple. I've got my filtered water in place, that's all working. The hot water tap is now working, finally got the piece, and I don't think I've done anything else other than hook the hot water tap up. As I say, it has literally worked flawlessly. As I say, the burner does need a bit of improvements. I couldn't find that bit of alley to put behind it, so I can't make that little heat barrier, but if I come across a bit of metal, I'll do it. But currently I don't have one. But really, maybe for next year or something, it could do with twice as many coils on the back. But for now, money wise, that's all I got. It should do this winter. As I say, I actually ran out of water last night, and I stuck both elements on. I like changed the voltages so it came on basically, and heated the water. I filled up only about 2 litres because I had to wash my hair still, and then it was at about 32 degrees I think. And even showering in that is fine. If the van's about 20 degrees, it's absolutely fine. So the burner, I know, can get it to about 38 degrees, so I'm more than happy to shower in that. So for this winter it works. As I say, could probably do with some perfecting, but the concept is working. Anyway, I'm going to shut up rambling. This video was quite a mess because I forgot where I was. I actually ended it once. Luckily I cut that out. I'm halfway through editing it now. I can't really tell you the price of it because I don't really know how to draw the line, you know, because the shower was kind of in the cost of it, the actual shower tap, the pipe. I had some bits, I didn't have others. I was given the immersion, so pricing's not really great, but I'll link anything I can in the description for you guys and you can price it up. But I think overall it'll be under 200 quid for the hot water bits, I would say. Yeah, I would say. So cheaper than any bought system you could buy, but obviously it's quite time consuming and you've got to know your knowledge, so it is easier buying one. But for me, I prefer cheap and confusing than simple and expensive. So I'm going to leave this one here. If you have any questions, please do ask them in the comments below, because I know it's been a bit confusing. And yeah, if you want to do this yourself, just ask away and I'll try my best to answer. And make sure you do hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.